It's only the second time in the last 2.5 seasons they've opened the roof at Reliant Stadium in Houston. And a big and noisy crowd will watch Andrew Luck lead his Indianapolis Colts into Texas to take on last year's Defensive Player of the Year, J.J. Watt, and the Houston Texans on NBC's Sunday Night Football. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle Tafoya. This is not what the Texans had in mind. They've been to the playoffs in each of the last 2 seasons. This year they started with 2 dramatic victories, but now they've lost 5 in a row. And their quarterback is a guy who spent all of last year in the practice squad and was inactive until 2 weeks ago, Case Keenum, who then played against Kansas City and looked pretty good. So after the bye week, he gets the start again tonight. The Colts, on the other hand, are 5-2. This is a team with 3 signature wins over San Francisco, Seattle, and Denver. For Andrew Luck, last year's #1 overall pick, no sophomore jinx. He has been outstanding. But for the Colts, a very big loss 2 weeks ago in that win against Denver when they lost Reggie Wayne, who will not play for the first time in 12 years, sustaining a knee injury and undergoing surgery. And so, Chris, as you look at the Indianapolis Colts right now, how will they work through the absence of a very big guy?
Well, there's no doubt that Andrew Luck can always count on Reggie Wayne. Third down, blitz situations, a big part of this offense. But we've already seen this year that superstar quarterbacks like Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers can win without their best weapons. And so while I don't know that Andrew Luck is a superstar yet, let's say he's at least headed in that direction.
Yeah, he sure looked that way 2 weeks ago. This is a huge game for Houston. Do or die, make or break, now or never, whatever cliche you want to use. How do they win the game?
Let me throw another one out there. Running game and defense, that's how they're going to get it done. But there's definitely a little buzz in this building, isn't there, over the quarterback, Case Keenum, a local product, provided some big plays in that Kansas City game that really this offense had been lacking. And he has a certain Texas swagger to him that I think is just added confidence to not only this team, but this fan base.
Expect a good one. AFC South rivalry. Indianapolis, Houston on Sunday Night Football.
Follow your favorite teams all season long. Go to iTunes.com/NFL. Sunday Night Football is brought to you by Verizon, Powerful Answers. By Hyundai, new thinking, new possibilities. And in high definition by National Car Rental.
Here we go, baby. This is where you want to be. This is where you always wanted to be. Let's get ready right now. Right now! Not bad, boy. Yeah! Get off the field! Keep them going. I ain't James Brown, want no jacket. We gotta be nasty, man.
Take a look at this. It seems impossible, right? You can't always believe your eyes. They can trick you. And that's pretty much what Brain Games is all about.
Brain Games on National Geographic Channel.
And here he gets the ball, looks to throw it, just slips right out of his hand. Wow.
Boy, it's a struggle to get every single yard that they're earning here.
I ate those raisins. You know?
That was terrible.
They didn't taste very good at all, but you know what? I got like gas, man.
Yeah.
It's just tearing me up right now.
What we got going on over there? Oh, they're taking a picture. Oh, yeah. Aw. So cute.
You want to see B get nervous?
NBC Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
AFC South standings, Indy 5-2, Tennessee won today, beat St. Louis, they're 4-4, Houston 2-5, Jacksonville winless with a bye today. Now down to the sideline, and Michelle Tafoya.
Well, Al, the big question in Houston all week was who can play running back for the Texans? Arian Foster was limited all week with a hamstring injury he suffered 2 weeks ago. He was a game-time decision. He will start tonight, and Gary Kubiak expects him to carry his normal load. Ben Tate will play with 4 broken ribs on his left side. On Wednesday, he took a pain-killing injection. That was their trial run to see if he could perform. He passed that trial run, and he will play tonight. He'll have that same injection, and he'll wear protective gear over the ribs. As for the Colts, they're without starting cornerback Greg Toller out with a groin injury. He'll be replaced by Cassius Vaughn. And as you mentioned, Al, Indy will be without Reggie Wayne for the first time in 12 years. Now, on the flight down yesterday, the team kept his usual seat open on the plane. But last night, owner Bob Irsay flew him in time for the team meeting where Wayne gave a speech. And Al, a few minutes ago, Reggie told me tonight he'll be back on that seat on the team flight with his teammates back to Indianapolis.
Thank you, Michelle. He's such an important guy, not only on the field, but off the field. Here he is. And they bring him out as an honorary captain tonight, 6-time Pro Bowl selection. This will end his streak of 189 consecutive games. He actually called the coin toss correctly. They win and defer. Keyshawn Martin is back to receive, and Pat McAfee will kick off. He is their punter and kickoff specialist, with Adam Vinatieri doing the field goal kicking and extra point kicking. And with the roof open, as we say, they used to open up the roof here a lot. The stadium opened in 2002, but not very often in the last 2.5 seasons. And here we go from Texas. Keyshawn Martin about 4 yards in. Will bring the ball back out to the 27-yard line. And now the crowd will respond to Case Keenum, who played his college ball here at the University of Houston. He actually played 5 seasons because he had a couple of medical red shirts. NCAA career leader in passing yardage, so well known in these parts. Undrafted. Practice squad all of last year. Number 3 guy behind Matt Schaub and TJ Yates until 2 weeks ago when he gets a start in Kansas City. They lost the game, but he played well. Out of the pistol. Right to the air. Good protection, and the first pass is incomplete, intended for Foster, broken up by Angerer. And let's take a look at the Texans offense.
Case Keenum, University of Houston, 3rd Ward Cougars. Arian Foster, University of Tennessee.
Greg Jones, Florida State University.
Andre Johnson, the U.
DeAndre Hopkins, Clemson University.
Garrett Graham, Wisconsin.
Dwayne Brown, Virginia Tech.
Wade Smith, the University of Memphis.
Chris Myers, Miami Palmetto Middle School.
Brandon Brooks, Miami of Ohio.
Derek Newton, Arkansas State.
2nd and 10 from the 27-yard line. Keenum took almost every snap in shotgun or pistol in Kansas City. Here off the fake. Being chased. Gets a block. Throws. Caught for a first down by DeVere Posey. So extending the play and running around and keeping it alive. And several seconds later, after Eric Walden couldn't chase him down, he completes the pass.
It's exactly what he did in Kansas City to create some big plays. They tried the bootleg action. It wasn't there, so he just scrambles around a la Russell Wilson and picks up a first down.
There's Matt Schaub, who got off to a disastrous start this season, throwing pick 6 in 4 straight games. Then he was hurt and inactive in Kansas City. Meanwhile, Ben Tate is now in as the running back. Runs a boot to the right side, wide open, and down the field goes Andre Johnson for his first touchdown in a long time. Andre Johnson had caught 48 passes this season without getting into the end zone. And what a start for the Texans.
How about this start? Come out here again, a little out and up to Andre Johnson, the best cornerback for the Colts. Vontae Davis bites all over it. And if you think this crowd was excited before the game, look at them now.
Randy Bullock for the point after. Johnson had caught 74 passes going back to last season without getting into the end zone. We've played 1 minute. And the Texans lead 7-0.
In order to throw the ball, you have to fool this guy every once in a while. Robert Mathis chasing the stretch play down the line, wasn't there for the bootleg. And then Andre Johnson working against Vontae Davis. Simple little out and up. Davis goes for the interception, and it is over. And Case Keenum, as advertised, as he has done so many times at the University of Houston, as he did against the Kansas City Chiefs, delivering big plays already.
Well, you talked about the buzz, the electricity, the feeling. That it's always a great feeling when somebody new can take over, and especially with the type of year that the Texans were having. And even though they lost to Kansas City, he played very well that day, and a perfect start tonight.
It was so much fun talking to him. He kind of has that swagger we talked about. And he goes, what do I have to lose? He says, if I'm getting a chance, I'm going down slinging it. I don't care. I'm taking my shots. I may not get another chance. And so far, so good.
Randy Bullock to kick off, and David Reed back to receive for the Colts. 4 yards in, Reed coming out with it to the 26-yard line. Brandon Harris makes the tackle. Let's take a look at the Colts starters.
Andrew Luck, Stanford.
Trent Richardson, Alabama.
Stanley Havili, USC.
Darius Hayward-Bay, Dirty Terps.
T.Y. Hilton, FIU.
Kobe Cleaner, Stanford.
Anthony Costanzo, Boston College.
Hugh Thornton, Illinois.
Sasa Zatella, Hawaii.
Mike McGlenn, Pitt.
Goster Sherrillis, BC.
Well, Andrew Luck saying to us last night, you know, one of the things you worry about in a noisy place on the road, something bad happening, and how do you respond? So a minute into the game, something bad happened, and we'll see how they respond. Luck buys time, comes back the other way, and wide open is Kobe Fleener, his Stanford mate, and Fleener, who had a big night 2 weeks ago when we had them on a Sunday against Denver, gets taken down by Sharpton after a gain of 44 on the Colts' first offensive play.
This is one of the toughest plays to defend in the league. You're going to fake a block with your tight end here. They go bootleg, delay, delay, delay. Now there's nobody wheeling back out of the backfield. And this game has started with a wild flair to it.
It is a Texas shootout right off the bat.
It is.
A minute and a half into the game. Trent Richardson is the running back. They picked him up from Cleveland in September. The fake to him. Luck has time. The pass is too high. Intended for Kobe Fleener. Let's take a look at the Texans defense.
J.J. Watt, Wisconsin. Earl Mitchell, Arizona.
Antonio Smith, Shaolin Temple. Brooks Reed, University of Arizona.
Daryl Sharpton, the U.
Joe Mays, North Dakota State University.
Whitney Merciless, Illinois.
Kareem Jackson, University of Alabama.
DJ Swearinger, University of South Carolina.
Ed Reed, I was born to do this.
J. Joe, Rock Hill.
One guy missing, Brian Cushing, whose season ended with a broken leg in Kansas City 2 weeks ago. Second year in a row that Cushing has gone down. On 2nd and 10, going nowhere is Trent Richardson, averaging just 3 yards per carry this season. Collectively with Cleveland and Indianapolis, it'll be 3rd down and 10.
Well, one thing that they are going to have to take care of today is J.J. Watt right here. Talking with Pep Hamilton, he said, I'm going to try and double team him on every play. He said, I've never seen a game record like him since Randy White back in the days of the Dallas Cowboys. That time unable to get him stopped.
3rd and 10. They go 5 wide, including setting Richardson to the outside, and then it's a screen to T.Y. Hilton, and he'll fight for a gain of 6. There's a flag down, our first of the game. Referee is Bill Vinovich. That was a 3rd and 10, and the gain was good for 7 yards.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense on a 64. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down. If you want to decline it.
If you want the penalty, he said. So their option is, do you want it to be 4th and 3 and in field goal range, or do you want it to be 3rd down and assess the penalty?
Penalty.
They've elected to decline the penalty.
Well, yeah, as long as you have Case Keenum around, you're just going to score about 60 points.
Well, they're on
it's changed strategy. Usually you come in against a terrific young quarterback in Andrew Luck. You want to try and limit all their points, but they have a little confidence in what their offense can do finally.
That was a pretty interesting call. I mean, that could have gone either way for Kubiak. Because you know, if you decline it, you have a 42-yard attempt, which is pretty easy for Adam Vinatieri, the oldest player in the league. He'll be 41 at the end of December. And the kick is blocked, so it works out perfectly for them. It's blocked, and coming back the other way, inside the 30 is DJ Swearinger. So everything perfect right now. As J.J. Watt got in there, Watt's so used to swatting down passes, he'll block kicks, he'll block everything. This guy's got radar.
J.J. Watt right over this gap right there. He's going to get those big paws up and get another one. And it falls perfectly to Swearinger on the outside. Boy, everything is breaking perfectly for this team that knew this was it. This is the game. This is their playoffs. This is the first place team. If they can't beat the Colts at home tonight, their season is pretty much done, and they know it.
Terrific first 3 minutes for the Texans. Everything going right. Tate's the running back. Play fake over the middle. Pass is caught. Andre Johnson, and that's a first down to the 25-yard line. Angerer making the tackle.
Well, Houston really hasn't even tried to run the football as of yet. And yet just the fact that Case Keenum has been in there and they've hit some passes, they have at least established the threat of it. Case Keenum, who only ran 3 plays under center in that entire Kansas City game, their under center play action worked.
3 receivers to the right. Tate's in the backfield. Tate's going to take the inside handoff. And a gain of 6. Let's take a look at the Indianapolis defense.
Corey Redding, Texas. O'Brien Franklin, Tennessee.
Ricky Jean Francois, Carroll City.
Eric Walden, Dublin High.
Pat Anger, Iowa.
Jarrell Freeman, Mary Hardin Baylor.
Robert Mathis, Alabama A&M. Cassius Vaughn, Ole Miss.
Antoine Bethea, Howard.
LaRon Landry, LSU.
Vontae Davis, Dunbar Senior High School, D.C.
Vaughn starting for Torah tonight. Mathis leading the league in sacks with 11.5 through their first 7 games on a record pace. On 2nd and 4. Handoff. Tate swings to the outside with those 4 broken ribs and is very close to a first down. Bethea making the stop.
They're really trying to bring pressure now. The Colts defense is. They had Antoine Bethea right up on the tight end on the line of scrimmage, just trying to clog everything up. Here he is. So they've got man coverage across the board, and they are really attacking as they typically do. But that time, Tate with a nice little bounce out run, but his slide at the end of that cost him a first down.
Greg Minuski looking on. His team's already yielded a touchdown right now. 3rd and 1 from the 16-yard line. And they give it to Tate, and Tate is going to get stopped in the backfield. That's Ricky Jean Francois, the first guy to hit him and make sure he could not keep those legs going and pick up the first down. So now what will Kubiak do? It's 4th down and 1.
There we go right there. Just wore out Wade Smith on that one. That's a tremendous play. And I go back again. I think if Ben Tate doesn't slide down there, he's going to pick up that first down, and now they're forced to go for it here.
4th and 1, at least lining up to go for it. You've got Tate, you've got Greg Jones, the fullback, in front of him. Extra leverage with the tight end moving to the left side, Graham. And the handoff going to the running back, and he's going to get stuffed short of the first down. So it's the in vogue thing right now in the league. Almost all coaches going for it in similar situations on 4th and short. This time it doesn't work. And the Colts stop them and take over 7-0 Houston.
Rugby. We all have our role. His is to keep his eyes on the game and his on everything else. Theirs is to keep the team strong in body and his strong in mind. His job is to make sure the game starts well and his that it ends the same way. Their job's to fill the stadium with passion. Theirs is to fill it with pride. And we've got their back. Because at AIG, that's our job.
Touchdown, Houston.
Push him at the top. Burst. Pass down. Right back down to my line. There you go. There you go.
Flip those hips. Get your hips flipped and you can finish. Usually guys in the NFL aren't.
Good night to tailgate. Oh, ribs. Barbecue. Good smelling parking lot outside Reliant. Back inside the building. Indy stopping them on 4th down. Colts now from the 16-yard line. Toss goes to Trent Richardson. And it's a gain of 7 for him. Well, Gary Kubiak took over here. It's his 8th season. Team came into the league in 2002. Dom Capers coached the team the first 4 years. David Carr was their first ever pick. Kubiak then inherited Carr for a season, made the trade for Matt Schaub, who's been the guy since then. And Gary taking this team to the playoffs in each of the last 2 years. And each of those years they won a wild card game against the Bengals. 2nd down and 3, and looking for room this time is Richardson, and he does find it as he cuts it back to the middle, 1st down.
Let's go back to that 2nd down run that ended up being the decisive one, and Ben Tate's going to just slide down here, and I think the referees spot the ball right there because of that slide. Now maybe you say he slipped on the play, but when you are that close to the 1st down, I know he has the back ribs, but you have to put your shoulders down and go get that one.
And then 2 more runs could not net that yard. And Indianapolis, after taking over to the 31-yard line for a gain of 4. Andrew Luck picked number 1. Colts had that 2-14 season when Peyton Manning couldn't play, didn't know what his future would be, and of course that was the end of Peyton in Indianapolis. So with the number 1 pick in the draft, when it could have been Luck or it could have been RG3, they opted for this guy, and Chuck Pagano in his 2nd season as the head coach has found the Hope Diamond. At least he hopes he has.
Getting closer to it.
2nd and 6 from the 11 or the 31-yard line, and Richardson again a steady dose of the former Cleveland Browns back, who was the number 3 guy in that draft behind Luck and Griffin. Richardson playing last year with Cleveland, and then it's interesting how everybody thought, well, the Browns, they're giving up on the season after the first couple of weeks. How can they get rid of him for a 1st-round draft choice? Meanwhile, Cleveland seems to be doing pretty well. They won today. They beat Baltimore. They're 4-5. And Richardson still really trying to get on track, as we say, averaging only 3 yards a carry in a Colts uniform. 3rd and 4. And Luck, and the pass is dropped. That was dropped at the 40-yard line by T.Y. Hilton right there. Would have been a first down. In comes McAfee, now to punt.
Well, there's your first Reggie Wayne kind of moment. This can't be any more wide open. Double slant, just a very basic route, and it worked perfectly. Ball thrown a little behind, but we'll keep an eye on this tonight. How many times will they not convert without Reggie Wayne in those key 3rd down situations?
And drop passes have been the bugaboo for the Colts over the last 2 years, and in good measure cost them one of their losses this year to San Diego, and it's dropped by McAfee. McAfee looking for some room to punt. He's able to get it away and does get the kick away, and he turns what would have been a little bit of a disaster with a flag down in a punt that goes to the 12-yard line. So he's running around in the backfield, and of course when you do that, everybody's going downfield. It would be a 55-yard kick, but
Ineligible member of the kicking team, illegally downfield, number 58. 5-yard penalty, repeat 4th down.
Which is almost certain to happen in a circumstance like that.
Yeah, I think 58 and about 7 other guys illegally down the field. For McAfee, he certainly has been in the spotlight a lot lately. He already had a big tackle in this game tonight after that blocked field goal. Almost drops this one. Had the big hit in the Denver game. So he's getting a lot of attention here lately.
Well, that's not the worst thing in the world. It only costs him 5 yards and gives him a chance to kick another one. 45.5 average this season, gross.
Colts special teams not off to a very good start, are they?
Ooh, and that one appeared to be partially blocked. Brian Brayman came in, and it takes a good Texans bounce and finally gets down to the 44-yard line. That was a 29-yard kick, so all kinds of special teams issues early in the game for the Indianapolis Colts, with Houston leading 7-0.
Gosh.
Hand up to Moreno, right side, nice hole, stiff arm. Moreno's out in the open, jumps over the top of Ed Reed, jumps right over the top of him.
Reggie breaks tackle after tackle. Oh, what a great effort by Reggie. Breaking tackle, stays on his feet. Running to the left, breaks a tackle, 35-30, open field. Touchdown, Alfred Morris. At that home run celebration. Finds a little crease left side. CJ on the run at the 45.
Dropped his shoulder and accelerated through those 2 tackles. Great run by CJ Spiller.
Throws to the left side, caught by Ballard. 10, 5, he dives for the end zone. Colts win! Colts win! Colts win!
He's at the 5. He dives into the end zone. Touchdown! Tight.
50, 10, 5, there he goes! Touchdown! Trent Richardson!
Trying to pick a hole, nothing there. And gets another block. He's on the angle. Touchdown! Kansas City! Looks for running room. Got a big hole. He's across the 30. There goes Beast Mode. He's going to run away. They're not going to catch him. Touchdown! Seahawks!
He's run for more than 2,000 yards. He's running back immortality, making him the 7th player in NFL history to run for 2,000 yards. The crowd comes to its feet to salute the best running back in the NFL.
I ate those raisins.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Well, they didn't taste very good at all, but you know what? I got like gas, man. Yeah. It's just tearing me up right now.
For the complete viewing experience, check out NBC Sports Live Extra, NBCSports.com. Michelle and Mike Florio, you can chat with them. Ryan Dean, the former Colts offensive lineman, protected Peyton Manning so well for so many years. Social media reports. There's Reggie Wayne going back to the locker room. Meanwhile, the Texans got away with one, which we'll show you in a minute. He said, look for all the world like part of that punt was blocked, at least partially, and a 9-yard gain here for Ben Tate. This looks like, if you're the referee, it looks like part of the ball was gotten by Brayman. Here comes McAfee. Brayman's right there, but as you can see, Bremen goes right into McAfee. The ball never touches Bremen. Thus, it should have been roughing on Bremen, and it should have been a Houston or an Indianapolis first down. But it's a judgment call and not reviewable. So it's 2nd down and 1 at the 48-yard line, and Tate goes to the outside and then takes it to the 41-yard line for a first down.
Well, this is sort of an interesting twist for the Houston Texans, a team that typically has to try and run the football to set up their passing game. They come out tonight with Case Keenum and throw the ball all over the park, which now has established their ability to run the football. Now they get back to their stretch play. Now they're cutting people on the ground. Now they're starting to look like the Houston Texans.
Tate is in there with that hamstring issue bothering Foster. Tate's done the heavy lifting to this point and carries here for no gain, tackled by Robert Mathis, and Tate has already carried the ball now 7 times for 25 yards.
Well, Robert Mathis probably doesn't get enough credit for this, and that's his ability to play the run. And he will take chances, jump inside on occasion. That time he just felt it and took over on the run. But 11.5 sacks already for Robert Mathis, on pace to take a shot at Michael Strahan's all-time sack record. But a very complete player and a guy very happy to be getting a chance to play on that rush side of this defense.
2nd and 10. Buying time again. Keenum going deep, and it is caught. Andre Johnson again for the touchdown. Perfect pass over the head and arms of Antoine Bethea. 41 yards and the 2nd touchdown for Johnson tonight.
Well, Andre Johnson doesn't even know what he's going to do. Watch Andre right in the middle of the field. He's just going to kind of slow down. He doesn't know where his quarterback is, and then he sees the ball in the air and takes off and just goes to get it. You better not relax on Case Keenum, because I don't think he knows what he's going to do. I don't think Andre Johnson knows what he's going to do. But so far, he keeps sticking the ball in the end zone.
Texans cash in after they get away with what should have been roughing the kicker. The extra point by Bullock is good with 4:13 to play in the opening quarter. The Texans trying to snap a 5-game losing streak, lead 14-zip.
In Super Bowl 47, the Baltimore Ravens scored the game's first 4 touchdowns.
Down the middle, touchdown, Ravens! Flacco play action, throws.
The game's 2 longest scoring plays belong to Ravens wide receiver Jacoby Jones.
Jones makes the catch, he's not touched, bounces up, running at the left hash mark, lunges in. Jones 8 yards deep, brings it out of the end zone. Left hash mark 10, 15, 20, sheds the tackle, 30. He could, he will go all the way, Jacoby Jones.
San Francisco battled back.
Spins away, and Crabtree will take it in for a touchdown. Kaepernick going to roll to his left, trying to get down the sideline. Kaepernick running to the 10, to the 5, he's in.
In the end, a valiant goal line stand proved to be the difference.
Incomplete. And for a 2nd time, the Baltimore Ravens are Super Bowl champions of the world.
Everybody watching? Everybody watching. Everybody watching right now.
Punt is blocked. It's been blocked by Reed. He picks it up and takes it into the end zone for a touchdown. Reed coming from behind him, strips the football.
He just seems to be around the ball. Just has the speed and savvy to find the football and make big plays.
I feel something tricky, Hong.
Guard the 50, Ed. Guard the 50.
Great job. That man had a plan. Good job. Play the game. Communicate. Communicate.
Politics. Well, there is Houston City Hall.
Let's hope he does as well late night as Case Keenum's doing.
Boy, I'm telling you. So the red lighting, Battle Red was the cry this week in Texas, in Houston, Texas, as David Reed downs it in the end zone. And the Colts take over at the 20, already down by 2 touchdowns, thanks in good part to Johnson.
Over the top, got a man back there in the back of the end zone. It's Doug Baldwin. Touchdown! Pass is caught, Eric Decker. Touchdown, Denver Broncos. He's in. Touchdown, Houston.
Strippers Cars for Cash continues.
You better get down here a bit lively.
And there's some new surprises in store, starting with tougher challenges.
The noise of it is unbelievable.
And rougher climates. But top profit still means pole position, and there's all to play for.
Bosh, Holland, look at that.
The guys are back on the road in Strippers Cars for Cash on National Geographic Channel.
Whereabouts you based? Pardon? Where's that?
Take a look at this. It seems impossible, right? You can't always believe your eyes. They can trick you. And that's pretty much what Brain Games is all about.
Brain Games on National Geographic Channel.
Down by 3.
Minute 32 remaining.
Okay.
Drive starts on the -23.
Okay.
We have all 3 timeouts remaining.
Okay. We're gonna kill these guys.
2 minutes, here we go.
Well, the former president, George Bush, 41, lives here in Houston. Former Secretary of State James Baker, Houston resident as well, taking in the game here at Reliance Stadium. And right now their team up 14-0. The ball at the 20-yard line. Donald Brown is the running back. Fake toss to him, and then the pass out to Griff Whalen. And Whalen is going to get a lot of opportunities now with Reggie Wayne down. Whalen, who played at Stanford. Pep Hamilton was the offensive coordinator there for Luck and for Whalen. So the Cardinal connection here. That's a gain of 6 at 2nd down and 4.
And Griff Whalen is going to be the guy asked to fill some of those shoes of Reggie Wayne, former roommates with Andrew Luck at Stanford. So between he and Kobe Fleener, there is plenty of old connections for him to fall back on from his Stanford days.
Here's Brown, and Donald Brown down the sideline, and out of bounds he goes, pushed out finally by the longtime former Raven Ed Reed. Now in Houston, year number 1 here, 24-yard gain.
Throwing the old stretch play back on him. Watch Gosder Sherilis over here on the backside making that final push. But for Donald Brown, here's a guy that really has now sort of taken over the big play role as far as the running game's concerned. They thought maybe Trent Richardson would become that, but really it's been Donald Brown.
From the 50 on 1st down. And Luck jostled as he throws, intended for Whalen, covered by Jonathan Joseph. 2nd down and 10.
And see, that's the perfect example right there of a position before in which Reggie Wayne is the guy that Andrew Luck just looks for. In this case now, you could see him sort of scanning the field a little bit. Griff Whalen was on this side. He didn't get the first look. He sort of relaxed on the route when he saw Luck looking away from him. They're going to have to find some inside energy from a receiver to make this offense work now.
Through the middle, Brown, who was their #1 pick out of Connecticut in 2009. He's been a guy who they were looking to be their ace back, but he's never been that ace back. And this year with Vic Ballard, and they brought Ahmad Bradshaw in, they both got hurt. Then they bring Richardson in. Meanwhile, Brown's doing a pretty good job.
There's no denying, if you take the body of work from just this year, Donald Brown's been the better player.
Richardson's averaging 3 yards a carry, and Brown's averaging almost 6. And he can catch the ball, too. And never fumbles. 3rd and 3. And Luck gets hit as he throws, and the pass is incomplete. So Andrew getting out of the pocket. Brooks Reed was there to make contact with him. 4th down.
They're trying a lot of Reggie Wayne plays here. Now they've got Griff Whalen's going to come in here and try and make a pick so they can pick up this 1st down, but he just doesn't quite get it done in that situation. So once again now, we talked about Reggie Wayne during the open, and so far, dropped balls, missed opportunities, there miss a pick. It's not been the same passing game.
Been an adventure for McAfee tonight. Nose down. Backspin on the ball. And can they stop it at the 1 yard line? And getting down there, and it's Sergio Brown who gets down inside the 2 yard line and is able to down it there. So that will pin the Texans very deep in their own territory with less than 2 minutes to go in the open.
Rugby. We all have our role. His is to beam the game to the world, and theirs to make sense of it. His is to wave his flag till his arms ache. Theirs for the fans back home. His is to make sure the team get there safe, and his that the kit does too. Their job is to support the best team in the world. Theirs is to be it. And we've got their back. Because at AIG, that's our job.
Make it special tonight. This is our house. It's our night. And it's our division. All hands on deck. The journey ends in 60 minutes. It's about 53 minutes. Stay in this huddle with me right now. 53 men together. One focus, one mission. Real estate's got pride. Real estate's got swag. Got that swag. I got that swag. Who's got that swag? I got that swag. Let's go get one of 1, 2, 3. Dominate.
It is a cold, raw, rainy night. It is very uncomfortable for the fans, very uncomfortable for the players. A very damp and raw kind of an evening.
The temperatures have fallen as the afternoon has segued into the evening.
Brady stands in the pocket, fires to the end zone, and is caught. Touchdown.
Howard's got to throw the ball around here.
Hey, man, he's showing me some skills right there.
That's ridiculous.
Case Keenum making a name for himself in the pros as well as in college. Raised in Abilene, Texas, about a 5-hour drive. Went to Wiley High School, won the state's that school's only state title. Then at Houston, he played 5 seasons there, plus he had a medical redshirt his first year. Had 9 touchdown passes in 1 game. Most career TD passes and passing yards in Division I history. He spent 6 years at that school. Then he doesn't get drafted, signs as a free agent here. Thus, here he is. You think of him as a rookie, though he's not. He's 25 years old. Ben Tate is the running back. We haven't seen Foster but for a play or two early in the game as he comes back from that hamstring injury. Gain of 2 here. Freeman makes the tackle, and we check in with Michelle.
Well, and you won't see Arian Foster for the rest of the night, Al. He is out with a back injury. He's on the bench in street clothes. Was a game-time decision this week because of a hamstring. Now with him out, that leaves Ben Tate with the 4 broken ribs and rookie Dennis Johnson, who just got here Monday, to carry the load.
All right, thank you, Michelle. And they picked up Johnson, who played his college ball at Arkansas. They also have Greg Jones, the fullback, who can carry on occasion, and that pass is nearly picked off Vontae Davis, who got beat for a touchdown here earlier tonight, but played a tremendous game, in particular against Demarius Thomas 2 weeks ago when they beat Denver.
Yeah, this is an almost by Vontae Davis and an almost by Case Keenum. At some point, as a young player, this is what you worry about. He is such a gunslinger, and he wants to just go ahead and fire it around. But you also have to understand that's a pretty good pro on the other side you're trying to pick on, and you got him once, but be careful down here.
Picked him up from Miami in a trade. Colts have made more trades than any team in the league over the past couple of years. On 3rd down and 7, that's caught on a slant by Andre Johnson. Having a huge night to the 23-yard line. He goes. Cassius Vaughn taking the spot of the injured Greg Toller. Makes the tackle. That's 4 catches, 137 yards, and 2 touchdowns tonight for Andre Johnson.
Kind of a bunch formation on the outside, and the 2 wideouts are going to run up the field together, and then Andre Johnson is going to come back underneath. And Andre Johnson has to be absolutely thrilled until that catch. He already had 3 catches for 119 yards and 2 touchdowns on the night. That is production he just has not seen this season, and in part because of the issues Matt Schaub has had this year.
And Keenum throws, and that's incomplete, intended for DeAndre Hopkins, their #1 draft choice, 2nd and 10.
You know, for Case Keenum, you sort of say, well, how does this guy go undrafted? He set all the records for touchdown passes and yards in college, and he said, I had a terrible combine. I won't use the word that he exactly said. He said, I went out there and I tweaked my hamstring trying to be a track star running the 40, which all of us tried to do at the combine to show off our speed. But he said, after I hurt my hamstring, it was really difficult for me to make the simplest of throws. I should have not thrown on the day, but he came back, and really nobody was interested in drafting him except Houston wanted him to sign after the draft, and that's how he ends up here.
You don't want to use that word? Well, it's analogous to a dice game in the casino.
Yeah, if you're going to play craps at the casino,
right.
that was, I don't want to make it sound like he was swearing, because that's not his style either. But, you know, he's just one of those guys, when he walks in the room, he brings a little energy, and I think he's brought a little energy into this bigger room here today.
A ton so far through the first quarter. It's 14-0 Texans. And NBC's Sunday Night Football from Houston continues after these messages.
Rugby. We all have our role. His is to keep his eyes on the game, and his on everything else. Theirs is to keep the team strong in body, and his strong in mind. His job is to make sure the game starts well, and his that it ends the same way. Their job's to fill the stadium with passion. Theirs is to fill it with pride. And we've got their back. Because at AIG, that's our job.
That makes running the football, you better score on this play. Running the next play could be dangerous.
They're going to run it. It's Ridley, and he has scored for the 4th straight week. They're going to throw it to the end zone and open for the touchdown. And once again, it's Kotchery. Going to have a heart procedure in Charlotte on Tuesday. Here's a 2nd and 7 play for the Patriots, and it's Dobson, and he's got a touchdown. For the 2nd straight week, Aaron Dobson.
You vote for Kelly Pickler? You voted for Kelly Pickler?
No, there's no way.
Come on.
I always said if
Check your
Kobe's
phone
not
records.
going to win it, if Kobe's not going to win it after
See,
all my
you're a
tweets,
you're a politician.
helping
You're
me out.
you're like Anthony Weiner. You put something out there, then you got to call it back, and then you get caught again. Deny, deny, deny.
What's your weigh in at today, man? Look.
Well, Bum Phillips, a very, very popular man in these parts, and there's his son Wade, who is the defensive coordinator. J.J. Watt looked very much up to Bum Phillips. He died October 18th, a couple of weeks ago. What a life he lived at the age of, died at the age of 90, so close to Wade. They share so many similar traits, and of course, patrolling that sideline with the cowboy hat. It was beautiful. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle Tafoya start the 2nd quarter in Houston with a 3rd and 8 pass that's incomplete. We had a safety blitz that time, forcing the issue from Landry.
You know, just talking to Wade Phillips a little bit about his dad. He said, you know, my dad was my high school coach. He was my college coach. He was my mentor. I coached with him in the pros for 11 years, but more than all that, he was my hero, and he still was struggling with his emotions talking about him. But it really has been a bit of a galvanizing force for this football team after they all sort of collectively went to the service.
Leckler's kick is fair, caught by T.Y. Hilton. Well, Bum Phillips, Oilers head coach between 1975 and 1980, the Love Ya Blue years, and Earl Campbell, and a lot of success in the Astrodome. And Bud Adams was the founder of this team. The Oilers came into the American Football League. 8 teams came in 1960. Adams, one of the originals, and then moved the team in the mid-90s to Tennessee. And of course, they right now are the Tennessee Titans. And then the new Texans came here with Bob McNair in 02. But both of them legendary figures in this area, as Andrew Luck on first down is chased out of the pocket, extends the play, and the pass is incomplete. J.J. Watt was chasing him, and it will be 2nd down and 10.
You know, Andrew Luck didn't like that one, but a first down play action pass usually means you're going to take a shot. And T.Y. Hilton got behind Joseph here. I think there's enough room there to try and throw that one in. J.J. Watt applied a little pressure, but you'll see he gets behind. There's a chance. That one-on-one situation with a chance to throw it over the top is what you probably were looking for on that play, in the double team. No match for J.J. Watt.
2nd down and 10. And a sack. Joe Mays played at Denver, picked him up as a free agent to help out with some injuries at the linebacker spot, and he makes it a 3rd down and 17.
Well, I think what happens is Joe Mays is reading Trent Richardson here, and when he blocks, that allows Joe Mays to come on that read blitz. And so far, everything is going Wade Phillips' way. They have a bit of an intimidation factor going right now, unable to block him, and the coverage has been holding up on the back end.
3rd and 17. It's a 4-man rush. Luck under pressure again, and Luck's going to get sacked, and he's going to lose the ball, but they may rule it dead at the 15-yard line. He was in the grasp at the 15-yard line. Watt, of course, was in there, and that's where they're going to rule it. Play was over at that point.
Al, every once in a while, you see emotion take over a game. This defense has been waiting on their offense all season long. And now that they're getting some points, now that they're getting some play out of their quarterback, the emotion is almost just exploding out of this team defensively. And J.J. Watt has been borderline unblockable so far in this one.
Back-to-back sacks worth 24 yards.
The ruling on the field is the quarterback was in the grass, progress was stopped, 4th down.
That is, as we said, in the grasp, and so once that was ruled, there is no sack. The crowd, of course, there is a sack. The crowd wanted a fumble and a recovery. They see the replay, and of course that gets them even crazier, but that's the ruling.
Well, 2 people grabbed the quarterback, and he was doubly in the grasp. It was a good call.
McAfee. Fair catch not called for, and this is Keyshawn Martin grabbing it and taking it out of bounds near midfield. 13:07 to the half, 14-0, Houston.
Robert looking over the middle, firing, it is caught. He's going all the way. 89 yards, Pierre Garçon.
What a catch by Cecil Shorts.
Not caught. Lions, touchdown.
Long pass toward Vincent Jackson. Here it is, caught.
What a catch by Reggie Wayne. That looks going to sail it. There's Harry Douglas. Hit the back of the helmet. He made the catch. Holy smoke. Holy smoke. What a catch by Golden Tate.
Sam throws left sideline looking for Gibson, who makes an unbelievable catch.
Diving grab. Jones. Touchdown. Jones is there. It's caught.
He's got Cruz. 35, 30. Touchdown, Giants.
Wow, what a one-handed grab.
One-handed snatch out of thin air.
Mohamed Sanu makes a magnificent catch.
Alley-oop to Riley Cooper. I don't know how he hung on to that. Doctor reaches out.
near side edge of the end zone.
Stafford goes right side. What a catch by Durham! Are you kidding me? A great catch on the near sideline.
Fires downfield, and it is. Oh, what a catch by Stevie Johnson.
Yeah.
Touchdown!
Oh, my goodness.
It was a catch.
Stafford wants to throw. It is caught inside the 10. Calvin, you did.
Is he good or what?
Calvin got him. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. Megatron breaking Jerry Rice's all-time record for receiving yards in a season.
Okay. Get to it.
Nice ball.
Oh, come on, catch it. Just catch it.
Back on the ball once.
Jim Irsay, the owner of the Indianapolis Colts, went through the Manning era, then that one dark year, but that dark year led to the #1 draft choice, and there's a lot of brightness ahead, you would well imagine, with Andrew Luck and looking into the future. But right now they're down 14-0 as Ben Tate takes it to the 49-yard line.
Ordinarily, you love playing against young quarterbacks like Case Keenum, but so far he's displayed a very quick release. Look at that tight motion, no wasted motion at all. Here he's in trouble, pressure coming, gets rid of the football in about .33. That's as good as you'll see in the NFL. But it's this ability that I think plays so well with this offense because of all the stretch runs that they do. You have to have some mobility at the quarterback position to come out the other side, and maybe in his 10th year, that's what Matt Schaub was missing.
2nd and 6. Tate will be about a yard shy of the first down. Well, the Texans had a bye week, and sometimes the coaches will go away and get a few days off, but Gary Kubiak felt it was too important to stay around and really give a cram course to his new quarterback, and that's exactly what he did. And speaking of coaches on bye weeks, our very best to John Fox, the head coach of the Denver Broncos, who was hospitalized in Charlotte, North Carolina, will undergo some surgery, might be out for a couple of weeks. And John, we are thinking about you, man. Get well.
Absolutely are.
3rd and 1 from the 46-yard line. And with Tate seeing all of the action tonight, you have the hamstring for Foster. He's already in civvies. Tate had those 4 cracked ribs in Kansas City, and they've already handed him the ball 12 times tonight.
Well, just going behind the big guys over here. Wade Smith going to get some movement on that side. And it's interesting that for all that we talked about with Gary Kubiak, how all he wanted to know was what made Case Keenum comfortable. Clearly, Case Keenum has made some adjustments too. After being in the pistol formation or shotgun last week, tonight, much more under center, getting to this run game.
Now you've got Dennis Johnson, the rookie. They just picked him up, and that's a nice debut for the new Texan, who picks up 9 yards. Free agent out of Arkansas. Just signed last week.
Yeah, but he did spend the preseason with the Houston Texans, so he knows this offense, went off to the Browns practice squad, and then comes back here after they had all their running backs get hurt. Watched him in practice the other day. He's got some pop to him. Now, he definitely has a little speed and excitement that he adds.
2nd down and 2 from the 34-yard line. And another sudden star right now as Johnson picks up a first down. 11 yards.
Boy, it's interesting. Greg Jones that time really had nobody to block. They end up getting the double team, the edge on the outside, and there simply is nobody there. Robert Jean-Francois got hooked on the play, and right now the Texans come out throwing big bombs around the field with Case Keenum, and now they're, for the first time maybe all season since that opening 2-game win streak, they're getting back to who they are, and that's their run game.
What next? You can order bouillabaisse from the 23. Tate. And he'll take the ball to the 21. Boy, I tell you, the NFL, it never ceases to amaze us. Just when you think you know what's going to happen. I mean, 2 weeks ago we see Indianapolis beat Denver, huge win. Houston has lost 5 in a row. third-string quarterback is playing first string, and it's all Texans tonight. Go figure.
But we also know it's a war of attrition, and we know that come the second half of the season, you're going to see guys that have to play, that have to come up big for particular teams. And so far tonight, Houston has the possibility of coming out of their slump with some of these young players. It's exciting to watch.
From the pistol on 2nd and 8, the pass is behind the intended receiver. DeAndre Hopkins, #1 pick out of Clemson. 3rd down and 8. You know, you're talking about Houston. If they get on a roll next week at Arizona, and then they're home for 3 games in a row, including Oakland and Jacksonville before New England comes in.
Well, and right now without Reggie Wayne, the Colts don't look like any kind of world beaters, so we have to see what they're going to become. But they need a stop from this defense right now. I mean, Andrew Luck is a fine player, but you can't get down too far on the road and still have a chance.
Third and 8, that's Garrett Graham in the backfield, and they send him out into the pattern. And Keenum will not get away. Will the ball get, as it's ruled down, the ball was headed out of bounds. Eric Walden was there, and just for a moment it looked as if the ball might be alive, but they ruled it down. But Keenum rolling to his left, and his knee could have been down first. That's the ruling here. The knee goes down, and that's the end of the play, and the ball comes loose, and once the knee goes down, that's it.
Well, but that's a significant play, and that's one that Case Keenum is going to have to learn, because he was in a much better position for this field goal. All he had to do is take the ball and flip it towards the line of scrimmage. He was outside the pocket. Let's see if it costs his team.
Bullock, 49-yard attempt, and that one is no good. Started out wide left, looked like a screwball coming back. Might have gotten through, but no, it's just wide. Field goal no good. Indy gets the ball down by 2 touchdowns.
Rugby. We all have our role. His is to beam the game to the world, and theirs to make sense of it. His is to wave his flag till his arms ache. Theirs for the fans back home. His is to make sure the team get there safe, and his that the kit does too. Their job is to support the best team in the world. Theirs is to be it. And we've got their back. Because at AIG, that's our job.
Take a look at this. It seems impossible, right? You can't always believe your eyes. They can trick you. And that's pretty much what Brain Games is all about.
Brain Games on National Geographic Channel.
Okay. Get to it.
Nice ball.
Oh, come on, catch it. Just catch it.
Back on the ball. I want to see it again. Get our head out of our. We're playing sloppy. Let's go.
Jesus, jailbreak.
Damn, what are we doing?
Way too slow. Are you alive?
Yes, sir.
Well, let's go, dude.
Oh, man. Come on, fellas. We got to.
Reggie Wayne, who's already had knee surgery here tonight in Civvies, one of 9 players in the history of the league with 1,000 or more catches, 189 consecutive games. That's about 12 years worth. He's caught 3 or more in 71 straight games. That streak will continue when he's able to play again. That's the longest streak in the history of the league. Luck to Wayne, 252 passes, second most since last year. Any QB to receiver, topped only by Matthew Stafford to Megatron.
You know, Al, I have to admit, I thought Reggie Wayne was going to have an impact on this offense. I didn't think we'd be able to see it this clearly. They clearly, at least so far, don't have an answer in the slot.
And Luck is 3 out of 8. And they try to get something going on the ground. Up to the 44-yard line goes Trent Richardson.
Let me see if I can do a better job of explaining what the slot receiver is. He's the guy that has to read the defense and the blitzes in the same way the quarterback does. when he sees multiple linebackers or a safety blitzing, he has to know to break off his route. The quarterback has no time to make adjustments at that point. So he has to trust that at least one slot receiver is going to know what to do, and I'm not sure Luck has that same kind of trust in anybody so far here tonight.
Mike McGlynn, the right guard, moving.
Ball side. Offense. Number 78. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Well, there's no question that a guy like Wayne makes the other guys better. T.Y. Hilton and Darius Hayward-Bay. So they have new roles right now. You got to find that other guy. Will it be Griff Whalen coming out of the slot? But you did a very good job of explaining that, I thought.
But you know what? Their roles are simplified because Reggie handled so much of the mental aspect of the game inside. The one guy that could do it is T.Y. Hilton. He's a very intelligent young player, studies hard, and now he's in that position.
2nd and 10. Luck fires. That's dropped. Griff Whalen, 3rd down and 10. Here's Michelle.
Well, as we mentioned, Reggie Wayne is here tonight. He's watching the game in the locker room. He told me it was important to be here to support his brothers, his family. He gave the speech, as I mentioned last night, to his teammates. He said whether it's your first year or your 13th, it can end in the blink of an eye. He said, I'm living proof of that. And Al, he told me it was good for him to be here, good for his mental health.
Yeah, we saw him before the game, Michelle, and he was in good spirits. I mean, for a guy who is not playing for the first time in a dozen years, but means so much to this team just to be around. 3rd down and 10. Pressured again is Luck, and the pass is incomplete. They had an all-out assault on the quarterback. Whitney Merciless leading the charge, and Luck right now is 3 of 10 for 56 yards.
And Wade Phillips is starting to see what I'm seeing, that there's not a comfort level with these slot receivers. Here they come with the blitz. There was no break off. There was no quick throw. There was nobody looking for a quick throw, and so Andrew Luck had to throw it away.
McAfee to punt. His 4th of the night upcoming. Keyshawn Martin back to accept it. Calls to the fair catch and makes it at the 10-yard line. 6:50 remaining in the first half at Reliance Stadium. 14-0 Texans.
Fox Sports proudly presents the NFL. Spectacular, sensational, but most of all, big, bigger, biggest. The NFL, finally on Fox Sports.
And here he gets the ball, looks to throw it, just slips right out of his hand. Wow.
Boy, it's a struggle to get every single yard that they're earning here.
Take a look at this. It seems impossible, right? You can't always believe your eyes. They can trick you. And that's pretty much what Brain Games is all about.
Brain Games on National Geographic Channel.
You vote for Kelly Pickler? You voted for Kelly Pickler?
No, there's no way.
Come on.
I always said if
Check your
Kobe's
phone
not
records.
going to win it, if Kobe's not going to win it after
See,
all
you're
my
a
tweets,
you're a politician. You're like Anthony Weiner. He puts up.
Roof open at Reliance Stadium. Right next door, of course, was what they once called the 8th wonder of the world when it opened back in the 60s, the Astrodome. Will the Astrodome survive? There's a vote coming Tuesday as to whether they should refurbish it for a couple $100 million or raise it, as in R-A-Z-E it. And we'll probably find out the the fate of the Astrodome in a couple of days. From the 10-yard line, Dennis Johnson, the rookie running back, is in there. Play fake to him. Pressure is put on. Keenum gets away, throws to Johnson, and it's caught along the sideline. Up to the 28-yard line he goes. And in this first half alone, 5 receptions for 155 yards and 2 touchdowns for Johnson.
Do a double move there and draw all the coverage, and Andre Johnson's going to come across the field. But there is only one reason that this passing game is doing better tonight, and it's because Case Keenum has been able to move around, buy time, give his receivers more opportunities down the field.
Keenum fires a little low, trying to hit Johnson again, incomplete. But they came in on a safety blitz to pop Keenum.
Well, and they're now going to the Kansas City strategy because Case Keenum made a lot of plays against Kansas City early on in that one, and then the Chiefs started firing the blitz at Case Keenum, and he knew it was coming. He said, listen, in this league, if you have trouble with something, you're going to see more of it. So he understood well that players like Antoine Bethea and LaRon Landry were going to be coming out of the secondary, and they have been. But he has found enough time to at least get the ball out, whereas in the last game he played, he was having some problems and taking sacks.
Sacked only once tonight on 2nd down and 10. He's going to give the ball to Tate. Tate will take the ball to the 30-yard line. Short gain. Under 6 minutes to play in the opening half. It'll be 3rd down and 8.
No, for Chuck Pagano, he's not used to seeing his ball club in this position, but as Pep Hamilton put it, he said, listen, we have to be committed to pain in this game. We understand we're coming in here. This is a desperate football team. They're probably going to put us in a vulnerable position early on in this game. He said we just have to keep hammering on them, and we'll come out of it all right.
3rd and 8. A lot of time over the middle. Pass is incomplete. Good coverage that time on Hopkins, and it will be 4th down and 8.
This is one of the least favorite moves for any defensive end. Watch the guard, Brandon Brooks, come back for the rib shot. Derek Newton does a nice job holding up Robert Mathis early, and then late, the guards like to peel off late and take that rib shot, and it definitely takes something out of pass rushers.
Leckler, longtime Oakland kicker, now in his first season here, a booming kick. Fielded at the 13 by T.Y. Hilton. Hilton trying to get around the corner. He will. Hilton with a good run back and out of bounds near midfield. T.Y. Hilton bringing it back to the 48-yard line. 5 minutes to the half. 14-0 Texans.
It is a cold, raw, rainy night. It is very uncomfortable for the fans, very uncomfortable for the players. A very damp and raw kind of an evening.
The temperatures have fallen as the afternoon has segued into the evening.
Brady stands in the pocket, fires to the end zone, and is caught. Touchdown.
Over the top, got a man back there in the back of the end zone. It's Doug Baldwin. Touchdown! Pass is caught, Eric Decker. Touchdown, Denver Broncos. He's in. Touchdown, Houston.
Push him at the top. Burst. Pass down. Right back down to my line. There you go. There you go.
Flip those hips. Get your hips flipped and you can finish. Usually guys in the NFL aren't fast enough to outrun an entire defense up the sideline. Does that make sense? So the ball gets turned back. We need your position. Press the hip.
I mean, I just don't want you to go, just hang there. Boom, you know, thinking something's going to happen.
Well, we've talked about Case Keenum and his roots to Houston, but then there's Andrew Luck. This is really his hometown. Because Andrew Luck, his dad played quarterback for the Oilers. Oliver, from 82 through 86, was a teammate of Archie Manning. And then Andrew went to Stratford High School, 3-year starter. How'd he do in as far as the grades were concerned? All he was the valedictorian. In 2008, that led him on to Stanford. So very much his hometown as well. And Luck on first down, going deep off play action, and a flag is thrown. Kareem Jackson made contact with Darius Hayward-Bay, and interference is the call.
That's the same play that he opted not to throw earlier to T.Y. Hilton. The exact same first down, play action. Remember now, tangled feet, not supposed to be there, so that's not pass interference, but this one looked like more than that.
Pass interference. Defense number 25. Stop down. Automatic first down.
Here's what Darius Hayward-Bay can do for you. Run by defenses. Kareem Jackson in trouble, grabs the right side of the jersey, twists it, and that's what they call him for. If he doesn't grab the jersey, probably gets away with that one.
46-yard penalty, first down and goal from the 7-yard line. And Brown picks up 1, 2nd and goal from the 6. Merciless making the tackle, 4:45 to the half.
You know, usually teams want to try and run at Whitney Merciless. He's much more of a pass rusher type. The Brooks Reed, the J.J. Watt side, that's the side much tougher to run against, but they get him in space here on the outside, works his way off the guard block and makes the play. He's had a good year so far.
On 2nd and goal, pressure and a sack. Antonio Smith getting in there.
Well, first of all, you have to at least get a finger on J.J. Watt, and they can't even do that. J.J. Watt working against Sherless is going to come inside, and then late you're going to get Smith here. But if J.J. Watt flashes in your face, you have no chance. That time they had Kobe Fleener flanked out on a linebacker. Luck was trying to go that way, but immediate pressure didn't allow him to do it.
3rd and goal from the 11. Under pressure again. And they hit his arm as he throws. Antonio Smith, good series for him. So it's 4th and goal. Houston defense doing its work, holding them to a field goal attempt. That Houston defense, amazingly enough, 1st in the league in allowing yardage and 27th in allowing points because they've given up so many return touchdowns.
Well, this is just a meeting at the quarterback, and sometimes you can just tell, Al, when a quarterback is in this kind of pressure situations, there are go-to guys that he can't find right now.
Trying to put points on the board for the first time in the game. Vinatieri bangs it through from 30 yards. 3.5 to the half. It's now Houston 14 and Indianapolis 3.
Okay, get to it.
Nice ball.
Come on.
You know, gang, you can download NFL Mobile and get live premium content like Sunday Night Football on your smartphone. Call ** NFL to download or go to NFL.com/mobile to learn more. That's where we were this afternoon.
Yeah, riding that rail over there. Should have seen Michelle working that edge.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, she's in phenomenal shape.
Phenomenal. Nothing better than Case, and for Andrew Luck, he is upset. You can tell they're going to have to come up with something to slow this pass rush down a little bit. This is a team that prides themselves on being a run-first team. You just don't know that they're able to stay with it because they're behind and they're not having a lot of success doing it.
McAfee kicking off. This will be run back by Martin. Keyshawn Martin looking for some room on the outside. And the ball comes loose. The ball is loose. There's Pagano in there, and he fumbles it away. So Martin down the sideline, what would have been a pretty good run back, a 30-yard run back. And the initial indication is that the Colts have come up with the ball as they unpile. I think Andy Studebaker created the fumble. Let's go back and take a look at it.
There's Studebaker there. Ball's in possession, and now here comes, that's Levon Brazil that gets it out. Now does anybody, he kicks it back. Sergio Brown kicks it back. Nobody was standing on the line. I think this is going to hold up.
I do too.
The previous play is under review.
Sergio Brown kicked it with his foot, but he was going out of bounds, but had not yet stepped out of bounds.
All turnovers automatically reviewed. That's where they are right now.
We gotta play fast. Hey, whatever we want, we gotta take it. We gotta bully them, man. Fight them. They don't want to fight. Physical football. We about to turn that hurricane up. This is category 6. What's up, boy? This what you're built for. This where your double down show up.
And here he gets the ball, looks to throw it, just slips right out of his hand. Wow.
Boy, it's a struggle to get every single yard that they're earning here.
Down by 3. Minute 32 remaining.
Okay.
Drive starts on the -23.
Okay.
We have all 3 timeouts remaining.
Okay. We're going to kill these guys.
2 minute, here we go. 2 minute, here we go.
All right, they're looking at two things here. Number one, was it a fumble, which it clearly is, as we'll show it to you with Pagano and Kubiak. So the ball is out. Martin wrapped up by Studebaker. Here comes Brazil. He's going to strip it out. So the ball is alive there. The only question would be 15. Brazil, is he out of bounds at any point while he's touching the ball? That's the other element to what they're looking at right now. If he's not, it's going to be Indianapolis's ball. He's touching it. He's not out of bounds yet. Does it hit off his knee as he goes out of bounds? I think this is going to stand as called on the field.
I do too.
You don't see enough evidence there to say that it was when he was out of bounds when he was touching the ball inbounds. Here comes Vinovich.
I think it's going to be confirmed.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Whoa.
And the 15 was out of bounds and hit his left foot. Therefore, it was a fumble out of bounds.
Whoa.
Despite the fumble, Houston's ball, first down.
Very interesting. Once again, it's clearly a fumble. We talked about Brazil. He's touching the ball. He's not out of bounds yet. But as he swipes it back, does it hit the outside of his left leg with his right arm out of bounds? Apparently, they think it did.
Wow, I didn't see that ball change direction at all.
No, neither did I.
I mean, you have to see conclusive evidence to overturn a call. He saw it, I didn't.
Nope, surprising. Obviously a big break for the Texans, not having to give the ball away at the 28-yard line.
I don't think Chuck Pagano believes it either.
No.
He's over there getting a full dose of this one.
There was one other thing. Remember the punt by McAfee earlier on, which looked like it was blocked, but it wasn't. He could have challenged that, as we are discovering later, in terms of the ball not touching the player, and then they could have assessed a roughing the kicker foul after it was determined that the kick was not touched. And anyway, in any event, that's water under and over the bridge. From the 28-yard line, took the whole bridge down. Here's Dennis Johnson for a gain of a couple to the 31.
I mean, just typically when you see it, you can tell when a ball changes direction. Let's see.
They're saying that
that ball never altered its course.
Before it leaves his hand, they're contending that he was out of bounds.
No, he said it hit his foot.
Right. Well,
and while he was out of bounds, I didn't see it hit his foot.
Not on that replay. 2nd and 7. And this is Dennis Johnson once again. It's going to be 3rd down and short, 3rd and 2 coming up.
Whether it touches or not is almost impossible to tell. Just watch the flight of the ball. There, the ball is off his fingertips. Now he says it hits his foot on the back end. It sails over the foot. That ball never alters its course at all. I just don't think that was the right call.
Nope. It has to be conclusive to overturn it. You saw the Colts all figuring that it was going to be their ball. We're going to tick down to the 2-minute warning here.
And that was almost assuredly at least 3 points off the board now.
So 2 minutes remaining in the opening half, with the Texans leading by 11 points.
Rugby. We all have our role. His is to beam the game to the world, and theirs to make sense of it. His is to wave his flag till his arms ache. Theirs for the fans back home. His is to make sure the team get there safe, and his that the kit does too. Their job is to support the best team in the world. Theirs is to be it. And we've got their back. Because at AIG, that's our job.
Got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Do you ever take your hat off?
If you had hair like mine, you'd never take your hat off.
Oh! Bygones! Be bygones, man!
Hey, and it's a new day with new installs. So it's a foreign country to all these young guys. They got no idea what they're doing.
Let's go on the hop, let's go! It don't matter where you're going, just be moving somewhere.
If you're walking, you're absolutely wrong. Find some place to go.
Back on the ball, I want to see it again. Get our head out of our we're playing sloppy, let's go.
That's why you practice, though. Just learn from it and move on.
Push him at the top.
Burst, pass down, right back down to my line. There you go, there you go.
Flip those hips. Get your hips flipped and you can finish.
Don't think. You know it. Let's go. Thinking gets you in trouble.
Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling. Here we go.
Flip, flip, flip.
Little things, little things.
Wrap, 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 wrap.
Oh! Oh!
Last period, finish strong, man.
Get ready! Get ready, man! It's like that hair on fire!
Energy's up, here we go, lock in. Hurry up, raging up the field. Bang it in there, good.
Hey, man, you're showing me some skills right there.
That's ridiculous. That was so good.
Fight through adversity. When something bad happens, okay, can you step up and be a man and make the next play when your number's called?
Take your hats off and salute the fans, man. Salute the fans. Thank you. Thank you.
Yard to 50 at.
Coming up on the Toyota halftime, the Chiefs unbeaten beat Buffalo today. Tony Romo rallies Dallas to a last-minute win. Bob and Hines are here, weighing in on the first half, all coming up at halftime from Houston, Texas, on a 60-degree Sunday night. Texans have the ball. They have all of their timeouts. It's 3rd down and 2 from their own 36-yard line. Keenum throwing downfield. He's got Johnson again. And Johnson having a monster half. Beats Darius Butler. And on a 3rd down and 2, down the field they go for a gain of 28 yards. And already tonight, 185 receiving yards for that man, number 80, Johnson.
Yet another double move by Andre Johnson. Darius Butler thought he was going to do that little in and out move and come back underneath. Instead, he went deep. The personality of Case Keenum is I would rather throw it 40 yards down the field than just pick up a first down, and he's lighting it up.
Down the left side again for Johnson, and he had to look over his head as he was trying to stay in bounds and couldn't. On the chalk it was. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Boy, this was a chance for Andre Johnson. He definitely had an opportunity. See the single high safety in the middle of the field, so he knows he's just got one-on-one on the outside. If he could have found a way to drag those feet in bounds, but just barely thrown too wide by Case Keenum to be able to make that play. But it's the mentality that I'm enjoying watching more than anything else. Instead of all these little throws that were really the trademark of Matt Schaub in this offense for the first half of the season, defensively, all that tape the Colts watch, you got to throw out the window at this point because this kid wants to throw everything down the field.
Right now he wants to take a timeout, and he's already thrown tonight for 196 yards, most of those, of course, to Andre Johnson. Texans quarterbacks this year, there's Keenum up to the minute. Schaub was 4 out of 10, more than 20 from scrimmage, and TJ Yates, who saw action in a couple of games subbing for Schaub, 0 for 1 with a pick.
Well, and Matt Schaub in the first 6 games of the year had 1 completion of 40 or more yards. Case Keenum had 2 last week. Already at least 2 here tonight. I'm not sure how far that one was down here, but this has been a different personality to the team. Do defenses eventually see this on tape and catch up? Yeah, maybe so, but at least so far, this dynamic is working.
Second and 10. They'll dump it off over the middle. It'll be caught. Taken to the 26-yard line. That's the tight end Garrett Graham. Tackled by Freeman.
Well, that's a nice job out there by Ryan Harris on the right tackle position. He is now splitting time with Derek Newton, and that was a heck of a block there.
So Kubiak running down the field calling for a timeout. They have 1 left. Sunday Night Football being brought to you by the new Windows. One experience for everything in your life. By BMW, we only make one thing, the ultimate driving machine. By Subway, train hard, eat fresh. And by Farmers, get smarter at farmers.com. Friday Night Lights in Texas. Concordia Lutheran beat St. Pius the 10th. 39-38 the other night. Gary Kubiak, thinking of Tony Kubiak, attended St. Pius the 10th High School. There you have it.
There you have it. A little high school football.
Right.
Can't get any better than that. If you get some time, go support those young men out there on Friday nights.
3rd down and 3. 1 timeout remaining. Ball to the 27-yard line. Keenum's going to take off inside the 20, the 10 to the 5-yard line. He has just electrified the whole city.
He is a student of the game right here. He saw the 2-man coverage and took advantage of it.
Comes to the line of scrimmage indicating he wants to spike it. Nope. He's going to throw a fade for Johnson, and he makes the catch. Touchdown. Andre Johnson over Vontae Davis. 7 catches, 190 yards, and for Andre Johnson, 3 touchdowns.
In case Keenum said, I'm not spiking this stinking ball. I only get to play once or twice in my life in the NFL. I'm going for it. And nobody's having more fun than Andre Johnson, maybe other than the defense, watching Case Keenum light it up.
Bullock for the point after. We mentioned earlier Johnson hadn't scored a touchdown all season. Hadn't scored a touchdown since the middle of December last year against Indianapolis.
But the run was the key play. When he saw the 2-man coverage, he knew there was nobody left in the middle of the field. Look at the space out here. He knew it immediately. 2 deep safeties, man coverage. Here you go, just rushing 4. We talked about it with Aaron Rodgers. There's always room to step up through that four-man rush. He took advantage. Most quarterbacks take a hit like that. They come up and spike the ball. Not Case Keenum. Thank you very much. One more touchdown pass for the half.
7 grabs for Johnson tonight. Johnson has 190 yards. You all know about Calvin Johnson having the second best receiving day in history last week against and the Colts, who have all 3 timeouts, but appear to be content just to get back to that locker room and figure out a strategy for the second half. They're going to let the clock run down, and that's the way it's going to end. Luck has missed on his last 7 passes of the half. Halftime, go figure. 21-3. Colts get the second half kickoff. Coming up next, Toyota halftime after these messages from your NBC station.
Rodriguez.
On first down, open at the 35.
It was just one of those things, you know. We got fortunate with the good bounce, and obviously the pitch was still a bit wet. Tricky condition with the wind, and you know, went in. I feel bad for Arthur Borges. Never nice to be on the receiving end of one of those, but good for us. We needed the goal, and obviously helped us get a point in the end.
Was there any point before it went in, when it was in the air, you thought it may have a chance?
No, not at all. I mean, I just tried to get it forward. Obviously, a bit of pressure on me, so and I kept carrying.
Manchester City toch al 10 verliespunten deze competitie tegen Norwich. Pas 8 punten in de Premier League. Ze doen het zonder Ricky van Wolfswinkel. Die ontbreekt vanwege een voetblessure. En City domineert in de eerste helft in het eigen stadion. Aan de hand van David Silva. De briljante kleine Spanjaard op het middenveld. Hier is Silva. Iets meer dan een kwartier gespeeld. De bal gaat naar de buitenkant. En voor de goal zijn Silva, Aguero en Negredo. En uiteindelijk karamboleert die bal binnen. En is het na 16 minuten 1-0 voor thuisploeg City. Rommelige goal. Daarna gaat het wel lopen bij Manchester City. Als Norwich iets verder naar vooruit moet proberen te spelen. En City profiteert van de ruimte die wordt geboden. Na 20 minuten staat het al 2-0. De assist is van Aguero. De goal is van David Silva. Het eerste doelpunt trouwens kwam op naam van Johnson. Eigen goal is van de verdediger van Norwich.